into the Ford League Lounge. Can we keep that energy going? Come on, crowd, come on. My guests, TOHU Harris and Scope's in the building. Justin Horo, bro, thank you very much for coming over. Bangers, let's get to you. It's been a minute, a few weeks. I've left you alone. I know you're deep in your studies. Talk to me about how it's going. What are you finding challenging about getting your head back in the books?
Yeah, it has been challenging. Obviously, going from running and passing a ball around and getting knocked around physically to sitting still and trying to focus on reading things and learning legislations and things like that. But I'm lucky I'm doing it with Nat. We're doing it together, so we get to lean on each other when one of us struggles.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Scope, now let's just get this clip out the way, please. Can you pull up this clip of Scope, as we do for all our guests here? Me and you played against each other maybe once, I think. We crossed paths a few times, but this is a highlight for you. Yeah, we pump up our guests here. Yeah, right awesome. There he is, post line. Justin, hold on, ladies and gents, scoring a try.
The pants fell down and everything.
Good. Lazy Chicken, how are you going, bro? How are you finding where you're at in life at this point in time?
Yeah, good, mate. I'm enjoying it. We were talking about Fozzie before, weren't we?
Yeah.
Our little mate, I just fell over the line in that one. But, yeah, it's going good. Do a podcast with Big Willie Mason over in Australia, Levels Network, and, been lucky I haven't had to get any legislation and any of that chat like TOHU has. I've rolled straight into some rugby league stuff, so enjoying it.
Let's talk a little bit about Levels, your podcast, because I've got a few stats here, team. I did my research, OK? Let's go. 90,000 on TikTok following, 65,000 on Insta, 37 subs on YouTube, and over 50K followers on Facebook. Now, you've built this from the ground up, mate. You've built it up. What are you loving most about this space?
That I'm still learning every day. Like it's changing all the time. I love working with other creatives. I like watching and trying to pick little pieces. Love seeing what you guys are doing, whether it be mainstream or doing your own thing as well. So that's my favourite part about it. It doesn't feel as competitive as sometimes when you do some of the more mainstream media stuff. So, yeah, just picking the brain of people, collaborating. I love all that side of it.
Yeah. Hey, now, I know we've given you a fair little pump up, but as we do in New Zealand, hey, we'd like to pull people down a peg or two every now and then. Here we go. Bring up this clip. Now, Scope, talk us through this. One of your finer moments. This is Scope in the pocket for a drop goal.
You went for a drop goal?
Yeah. It's in the what?
Soccer goal.
Do I see triple digits on that clock? 100 minutes into a game. Ball drop of doom? What's happened there? What's got you back there?
So look at the beard and everything. That's disgusting. Second longest game in rugby league history.
Yes,
that was. So it was the New South Wales Cup grand final against Newtown. Luckily, we won the game. We ended up scoring with a try. Obviously, you've seen the way that I was kicking. Jimmy Maloney was in that team with me, ex-teammate of yours. He missed 3 or 4 before I got the opportunity to have a crack. So I thought, I said, if Jimmy's not, just give me a crack. And, it was awful. I said to the boys after, when we're having a bit of fun, and I said I was just trying to get a repeat sets, so chase the kick nice and hard and put him in the corners like you do most times.
Now, let's get straight into the meaty part of the show, all things Waz. Scope, not sure if you're familiar, but we like to break down our team here. Now, boys, a tough game in the weekend, all right, over there in the wet. Goddamn, the Bulldogs, give them credit. They showed us how to play in wet weather, well, any sort of wet weather footy, beating us 32-14. Now, 3 things you got to get right if you want to win in the wet, and the Dogs did that. They controlled the ball, they won the possession battle, and they kicked really well. Okay, they kicked really well. Now, Burden's boot obviously was a factor, but for you, Hoz, the perception of where the Warriors are at across the ditch. Now, being no secret, we've had to go deep into the archives or into the talent pool to fill the team. What's your take on where the boys are at the moment? Yeah,
it's just one of those years. The year started so well for you guys, and unfortunately, there's a couple other teams you could even put sort of where the Dolphins are at. In order, and as you boys know, in order to go deep into the playoffs, one of the things that you just can't take for granted is health.
Yeah.
And you've got so many injuries at the moment. Whilst that's been happening, you've been able to unearth a lot of good young talent. So I think that's sort of the perception back home in Australia, is that you're just starting to fall away. And I guess when off the back of 3 losses and the Bulldogs were good, but yeah, it's still it's a cracking season. You're still there. you're going to be in the final. So see if you can do some damage when it.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment. It's a fair assessment. Talking points. Let's bring this up, please. Now, selections, Tohu. They were well, a large talking point for us in the week heading into the game. Late change at number 7. Tamaiti comes in. Tanner goes back to reserve grade. What do you make of it?
Yeah, obviously we dropped a couple games heading into this game, and I think Webby might have been searching for a bit of confidence in the team, and Tamaiti, no matter what Webby's asked of him, he's gone out and performed, and I think that's what he was looking for this game, provide a little spark, get the ball in his hands, run the ball, run the footy, be a threat. And obviously, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate how it ended early for him, but I think that's what the thinking was, and they would have planned for that all week. The team would have known. I know that it came out late, but I think Tanner might get another opportunity this week.
Yeah, look, we watched these clips of Tanner here, taking them on, using his speed, using his skill, and I think he gets the nod this week. No doubt that's what the club's looking from him. You know, like, the 7's such a fine role with having to pull the strings, conduct the side, but then never lose sight of taking the line on and making them sit on their heels to open up the other elements of your game. So Tanner gets a shot this week, I'm sure. You know, we're going to be seeing him back in there doing his things because he can strike the footy. And I'm watching the game in the weekend, and I'm going, oh, his kicking game would have been handy for us.
A lot of people were saying that, right? He probably would have suited the conditions. It's unfortunate with Tamaiti. Like, if he doesn't go down, who knows how that game plays out with field position and the kicking. So good to see Tanner. You know, like when you go back down to New South Wales Cup, you don't sulk. You go and play well, and then, you know, hopefully we will reward him this week.
Yeah. NRLW clicking. They've gone back-to-back team. Make some noise for our girls. In particular, the halves really starting to click. Patricia Maliepo, now runner of the footy bangers. I know you're a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, she's a threat with the ball in her hands, and as a halfback, that's such a huge asset to your edge, not just yourself, but it opens up space for the people outside you, and like as a former back row and like yourself, when you're playing against a running halfback, a running threat, it changes how your edge defends, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Her running mate, Emily Curtin, now kicked the lights out, kicked the Dogs to death, actually, and showed us how to play in wet weather footy, funny enough. Now, set a record, I think. What was it, 4 forced dropouts. She had the ball on an absolute string, laying on this one. But, again, seeing the girls starting to elevate their game with the reps that they are now getting, you know, like the demand of training, not having to worry about jobs while you're in season, going a long way to seeing some of these performances. So, well-earned 2 points from the girls over there in the weekend. New South Wales Cup, all right, they are a personal play-on moment, boys. They are a personal play-on moment of the week now. They have wrapped up the minor premiership with 3 rounds to go. CO Carly, a 72nd-minute game winner in the weekend, but they just keep ticking along. We've just spoken about the issues in first grade with the health. Well, guess where they've got to go to bring players up? It's this squad. So this squad here has to continue to drop down and pull players up. Spoke about the exposure some of the young players are starting to get, and we've seen the rewards in Cup.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, Webby's come from a really strong system in Penrith. The reason they've been so strong for the last 4 or 5 years is they've just continued to win at every level, and seems like the Cup's been doing a good job. And like I said, like I played there for a couple of years before I made my NRL debut, so it's tough when players are coming in and out of those teams to keep that cohesion together. So big credit, considering all the injuries that the first grade have had, to be able to keep winning the games like they have and locked it all up.
Yeah, let's hope the Cup can keep it going. 3 rounds to go, and then it is finals time. Hey, time for a quick break. On the other side, we're going to be talking about the other teams. See what that top 4 looks like. See you shortly.
As Manly shift the ball, that's the key to Manly winning here. Get the ball to extremities and do this.
Oh, look at Kohler. He does burn away Savage. He's in the clear. They're lining up the kick. Here comes Turbo. Oh, what a wonderful try. Tom Trebojevic. Manly on fire. A sensational try. That's TOHU Kohler again. And the man back in #1 with the finish.
Yes, that is our dad's Clyde try of the round. Tommy Turbo, boys. Kohler, goddamn, speed for days. There is no substitute for it. Straight into, let's go, have a look at the top 4, please. Boys, top 4 is taking shape. A movement there. Yes, our beloved Waz drop out this week, but I'm looking at those sides there, and all I can think, is it clear-cut now? Are we looking at the 4 best sides in the competition as it stands? Scope, your take.
Yeah, right now that's the way they're playing, but there are so many big games coming up for all those 3 of those teams anyway. So I think Canberra's got the best run. I think people were sleeping on Canberra. Everyone's expecting them to fall off. That was the one good highlight for my old team, Manly, in that game. Apart from that, they've been really impressive, and I think they get a bye this week, and then they'll play Penrith the following week. So that's their big test.
I think we've got to keep the faith with the Waz, though.
Yes.
Like with the run home.
Yep.
They get a bit of continuity in the side.
Yep.
Like we've dealt with a lot of injuries, a lot of changes to the edges, and that makes it hard. But if we get a good run of consistency in the side, we can really do some damage. And you've got teams like Penrith. I think they play the top 3 teams over the next 3 weeks in the competition out of the last 4 weeks. So it's a huge opportunity if the Warriors can find some form.
Someone knocked them out.
Oh, I know, bro. Off the back of that, okay, off the back. Like, I'm at what point am I going, okay, they're taking the piss now. It's just too much, right? Like, their ceiling continues just to stay so high. Now, for a while there, you just looked at me and go, okay, yeah, they've mellowed out a little bit. Yeah, the comp's starting to even itself up. They've maybe lost 1 or 2 many players now, you know, but then you just remember the likes of a Dylan Edwards, a Nathan Cleary, that they're just so elite, it doesn't matter. And seeing them sit inside the top 4, boys, I've got to say, are we going to talk about them possibly going for 5? Or
it's crazy. Wasn't it around like 10 or 11? They're sitting 17th.
17th.
And now they're in the top 4. Like,
what about your old side, Bangers there, the Storm? What are you... I feel like they're not the same Storm that we're used to. I feel like we are seeing some inconsistencies in their game.
Yeah, I agree.
That they may have just lost that little bit of... like fear factor about them, that intimidating factor about them?
the thing is, though, they know how to stick around in games.
Yeah.
They know they just keep competing. And then they've got players like Coates, as we're seeing, Pappenhausen, Munster, who can break a game open. If it's a tight game, if the scores are close, they can do something at the drop of a hat. So I think like we're going to see them sort of later on in the competition.
Yep.
I think deep into the finals, they'll be there again.
Let's have a look at I call it the top 10, OK? I feel like there's sort of 10 sides still left in this competition that can do something. Now, there's obviously a logjam there from 5th to 8th, essentially. But, yeah, 9th and 10th, or 5th to 9th, but 10th place there, Manly, your old side, they're still sniffing around. Which side in this bunch here, OK, if we each pick one, can really push? Bangers, you're going to go with the Warriors off what you just said, or is there anyone else there that can really push and make a dent late in this competition?
Well, I think, the Warriors for the top 4, definitely. But I think in terms of the top 8, like Scope's old team, Manly, like they can be scary if they're a bit streaky.
Yeah.
Players like Turbo, Cherry Evans, like they've got players that can, once they find form, they're so hard to stop and they're a hard side to beat. But I think them and Roosters probably, out of anyone, can probably scare some teams.
Chooks for me. Chooks for me. I just think, because we lost Molly, Olakau'atu, for Manly, there was chat that Paseka was going to be close at the back end of the season. I'm not too sure now. I think it'll depend on where they're at and if they're a genuine chance of getting back into the finals. But the Roosters look red hot. Like that, since Sammy Walker's got back, they're playing flat and fast. They're getting through the ruck, and instinctually with Teddy, they're just on fire at the moment. That was dominating against the Dolphins on the weekend. Yeah.
What do we make of the Broncos? Now, geez, that was something you don't often see. Reynolds and Mam go down. I should not even giggle at this because this is absurd, all right? And a chase back in one play, your 2 starting halves,
there it
gone.
is.
All right, are they a chance, or are we putting the line through? But to be fair, I will say this: they got someone like Benny Hunt stepping into the 7. You can't rule them out, in my mind. What's your take?
If Ezra gets back with Benny Hunt, they can still win it, but I wouldn't be as confident as if they did have Ren.
So you don't like them with Reynolds and Benny Hunt at 5'8"?
No, I'm just assuming Reynolds is going to be out longer.
Okay.
It looked like his was worse. It reminded you of Herbie.
We might have to fact check that. We'll find some things out, eh?
Yeah, we'll find out if that's legit. It looked like Ezra was trying to work his way back into the game.
Yep.
So I'm thinking maybe he's only a week or 2.
Yep.
So he feels like he's more realistic to get back a little bit earlier. So therefore, I think they can win with Benny Hunt and Ezra. But I'd love to see if they can get fit, get them back, Ezra, Reynolds and Ben Hunt, very dangerous with Walshy at the back.
Okay, love it. Good wrap. Hey, if you had to take away one thing from that segment, just focus on our team, the Wires, all right? Time for a quick break. On the side, we're going to preview them as they take on the Dragons this weekend. See you shortly. I'll never get sick of that. D-Dot to bring us back in off the break. Hey, time for Warriors preview. Please bring up this team list, team. Let's have a look at it. Big inclusion, obviously, Tanner Boyd back in, but Wade Egan, TOHU, comes back in at number 9.
Yeah, that's a huge inclusion. Like, Wado brings so much to the side in terms of our attack and our structures, so he's going to make a massive difference this week.
Yeah, I love it, love it. Let's have a look at 2 of the Dragons' threats, and it is the 2 kings, all right? We've got King Gutho, Clint Gutherson, and the young gun, King Tongia. Now, boys, the stats don't lie, all right? They're a big threat, and I know the Warriors are going to be on high alert this weekend. If we can cut straight to this footage, let's have a look at some of the plays that they're putting out at the moment, and these 2 are heavily involved. Now, King Tongia is your indicator, but the late movement of Clint Gutherson is something we've got to watch out for this weekend, OK? If you roll this tape here, his ability to move late allows your defence maybe to move a second late, not quite get their numbers set, and they run this twos block, which is a common play run right across the NRL. That's designed to get King Tongia the ball in his hands, going at a 4-man or a forward, and trying to isolate the half. This weekend it could be Tanner Boyd with his big back rower. If you play this out here, King Tongia, though, uses his strength, uses his speed, throws a dummy, gets through the line, holds the ball up beautifully, and as every good fullback does, his running man, Clint Gutherson, backing up in the corner to lay one on. Now, when you think of King Tongia, you think of that play and he's playing direct, OK? He's going at you. But if we roll this next tape here, a variation to their play. Again, the late movement of Gutherson, the deception in the play. If we pause, this play typically is to isolate your centres. Now, usually you get centres wanting to run hard lines at inside shoulders, OK? So you've got to sit. You cannot move. But what the Dragons do here is they find a variation off the back of it, OK? They find a space for their centre to actually fade to the outside shoulder, which allows him to get through the line for a post-line offload. The winger and Clint Gutherson's position here is so important to making this play. His ability to show himself early, get the outside defenders up and pass the ball is what creates this play. King Tongia, play it out here, gets across the line, all right, dropping players underneath him, got movement around him. And as he moves through this, plays this beautiful out ball, Clint Gutherson, the other king, backing up in support. Scope.
Yeah.
These boys, we're calling them the Dragon Slayers, the top 8 Slayers, right? They've picked off a few handy sides here, largely thanks to your man, Clint Gutherson. What do you love about him?
Yeah, Gutho, I was part of his debut game back in 2013. He's just all effort, Shawnee. So he just puts himself in the picture. You're highlighting those plays where he can start on one side, get to the other side, but he's the fittest guy in the club. He was just skin and bones when he first arrived at Manly, but in order to do that, he's just in plays all the time. So he just keeps him, and he's kept this Dragons team. That's why they've knocked off a few of the better teams. Yeah,
they're a team that continues to fight, bangers, and when you look at their style of play, it's that unorthodox sort of like that dirty style where they're just in your face constantly. Is that what you remember about them? Because I can't get that out of my head. Like.
They're always a dangerous side, especially when we're playing against them for the Warriors. Like they tried to be real physical, especially at our halves, like yourself, getting their big back rolls, running hard. Like my mind goes to Benny Murdoch.
So I don't want to talk about that now. But these plays here, there you go. There's that play we just spoke about. You know, they've been running it and they know it works. This is the last time we played against them, and there's no doubt they're going to go back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And those plays come off the back of a back row, right?
Yeah.
So you get used to the back rows running hard at the halfback, then all of a sudden they've got some skill off the back of it, and that makes the defence sort of sit back, waiting to catch the hard running, and then all of a sudden they've got shape and you get done on the edges.
Luciano. He's so silky.
Oh, he's got the pass, he's got
so
the line
nice.
and the bumpers.
Yeah.
Bangers, can you take us inside the 4 walls this week quickly, all right? If you're Webby and we're coming off what we saw on the weekend, what's a main work on? All the attention will be on themselves, right? What they can improve. What do you think is at the top of that list?
Yeah, they're disciplined for sure.
Yeah.
So they'll look at it like whether they're above the line or below the line, because everyone wants to blame a referee or whatever it is, but how they're looking at it is they're looking at their actions and how they played a part in, I guess, allowing a ref to make that decision. Yeah. You take the ref out of the game and you focus on your actions and get those right, then the ref's not going to be a factor in the game in deciding the match.
Yeah.
So, their discipline's going to be huge. And getting back to that grinding defensive style.
Yeah.
Just stay in the competition, get in the arm wrestle, and play set for set.
Well, to help them do that, the inclusion of Tanner Boyd. Now, his kicking game is largely what we missed in the weekend in the week. Now, you know, you're relying on someone like Chanel Harris-Tavita who gave it his all, but he's a one-man band. You know, you got options either side, a good left foot, a good right foot. That will put the boys in the position to get in that cycle.
Yeah, it's crucial. Like any game, especially going against the Dragons, who don't have the greatest kicking game.
Yep.
They're still trying to figure it out themselves with Kyle Flanagan. King Tongi is a really good attacking player.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a top-tier kicking game, so that could be a huge advantage for Tanner if he gets it right.
Come on, boys, now let's exploit this. Let's go. Hey, let's bounce back. Lads, time for the Ford fan question. We ready for it? Time to get opinionated, team. Yeah? You ready for it? Here we go.
Let's do it.
Is it a massive stuff-up that they're playing the Pacific Champs final in Oz when the Kangaroos aren't even in the competition? Are they taking the piss? Is that serious? You guys get that right back there? If that's the case, that's absurd. They've got that royally wrong.
Yeah, it's so strange. Why wouldn't they? Would it be even Eden Park or Go Media? One of the two. It's got to be over here, doesn't it?
You would think so.
No, haven't you?
But
Come on now.
I don't think it's a stuff up at all. I think they've done it on purpose. It's obviously Tonga, whether it's Tonga, Samoa, Kiwis. I think they're going to draw a big crowd regardless of where they are.
Yeah.
And obviously Australia want to take
They
advantage of
predicted
that.
New Zealand not to be a part
There you
of the final.
go, Scope. That's what I'm talking about. They are, man.
Think of that.
I know how these guys work. But if they had it here, like, that's a celebration of rugby league. And, like I've played against Tonga in Auckland. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I could have been playing in the middle of Tonga. It's an atmosphere. It is an unreal vibe.
In fairness to it, last year in the final at Combank Stadium, it was red flags everywhere. Tommy Turbo said after the game, he goes, "It feels like we're in Tonga."
Yeah.
With all the flags that were there. So I don't think it matters where you play for the.
I remember they got that one wrong too, because that final was the curtain raiser for our game. they all left. I was like, yeah, it's my last game of rugby league ever. I ran out. It was cricket. So I was going, oh man, how good. How good. Can we have a look at the fixtures, please? Want to have a look at some of these games coming up this weekend? Some big games, boys. Damn, Thursday night, Panthers Storm.
Yep.
That'll say something. Friday night, Roosters Dogs. Any other ones there that stand out to you? Nah. Warriors. Come on, man.
Nah, yeah, I think those games that you pointed out, because they're going to have the biggest impact on the Warriors' position on the ladder. So be keeping an eye on those.
So we've got Storm Panthers. Could this be a game that we might see in the big dance later in the year? Do you see these two teams as still the teams? Or are you solely set on Raiders off the...
Yeah, I like the Raiders.
Yeah.
I feel like they could play themselves at some point in maybe the Final Four.
Yeah.
Go into a grand final. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not there on the last day. If the schedule plays out that way, that'll be interesting to see. Like, you'd hate... Imagine if Penrith don't finish in the top four and you've got to play them the second week of the finals.
Yeah.
The torture. Yeah.
Who are you picking, Bangs? Who do you like at this time right now?
I think out of the teams in the top four right now, like, those are the two teams that I think could be there just because of their experience. Like, they know what it's like playing in those big games and finals. I know Canberra's been in and out over the last few years of finals footy, and they've got some big game players, but I think just the massive amounts of finals experience for Penrith and Storm, they're going to be hard to beat that into the end.
Oh, scary hours. Quickly, so, boys... Warriors play 8 p.m. Friday, and our girls, they're in Hamilton this weekend. So if you're down in the Tron, get out, turn up for our girls. 7 o'clock, that coverage starts. Boys, that's all we've got time for. All right, so thank you very much. Scope, thank you very much for making the trip across the dirt.
Big fan.
To our live audience, you guys were unreal. And to our sponsors, Ford, Purcell, and Dad's Pies. None of this is possible without you. Same time, same place, next week. Enjoy your footy this weekend, team.